Alan, tell us the story of The Beekeeper.
Yes.
Starring Jason Statham.
Yeah. So Jason Statham plays Adam Clay. He's a beekeeper out on the farm of a widow, Eloise, played by Felicia Rashad. And Felicia's character, Eloise, she basically saved Adam from his past, and he's appreciative of that. And while going out doing this beekeeping stuff, Eloise's computer gets a virus, and she calls the phone number that the virus says to call, so they can get it cleared up. And in a matter of minutes, all of Eloise's money is gone. In fact, a $2 million foundation she was supervising, all that money is gone. And Eloise is so distraught that she kills herself. And Adam comes back with a nice jar of honey, sees the dead body, and says, well, I'm going to get revenge. And he goes out to the company, burns it to the ground. But we soon find out that the company that took her money has connections going all the way to the top. To the top where? Well, you have to see the movie to find out. But while Adam is taking down the bad guys one mini boss at a time, we have the brave FBI agents, Agent Verona, played by Emmy Raven Lampman, who happens to be Eloise's daughter, and her partner Matt. They chase down the beekeeper, and it becomes a political thriller at the end. So let's just say everything you saw in the trailer happens in the first act, and the movie kind of expands into a conspiratorial political thriller from there. I will say this: if you want to experience this movie the right way, go to Disney Plus, watch Echo, and then after you watch Echo, go to your movie theater and then watch The Beekeeper, and you will swear The Beekeeper is the greatest action movie ever made. Because I remember at the end of this thinking to myself, that was a really great movie. And I remember, and the other thing is, throughout the movie, I was like, wow, this is so much better than Echo. They handled that a lot better than Echo did. And so I quite frankly had a lot of fun with this movie. And I will admit, I think Echo clouded my judgment on this movie.
Well, I'll say this. First of all, we should mention that this movie was directed by David Ayer, who did Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And by the way, Jeremy Irons in the background there, he's in the movie, and he is very Jeremy Irons in this movie.
He's very, very Jeremy Irons. All I can say is this: I love this movie. The Beekeeper is I don't think I'm going to see a better movie in January.
Your favorite action movie of the year.
Jason Statham is always solid. Okay, everything he's in, he's just likable. He's solid. He gets the job done. He's believable as an action hero. This is so much fun. And also, it had sort of vibes for me, The Tax Collector, which came out in 2020. Also directed, David Ayers directed that. I mean, that thing is a brutal, brutal action movie. David Ayer also did Bright, End of Watch, Fury. If you've seen Fury and Suicide, I'm just telling you, his action resume, solid. This film creates so many. First of all, if you need it, you can't have a great hero without great villains. The villains in this, including the sub bosses that he kind of like grinds through, they're such a-holes. They're like these guys that are just driving, like you've got people at the computers ripping people off, and there's like a boss that's driving them on. Come on, we got to meet our goals. We got to do this. They're all surrounded by these computers and these makeshift companies ripping people off. Josh Hutcherson's character, he's the son of the president of the United States. We end up finding out who Josh Hutcherson, he's basically Hunter Biden. He's doing drugs. He's an a-hole. He's like, oh my God, he's such a good villain because he's so unlikable. You just start like, oh my God, please die. Like, and there's just so many great, whenever they create a character of like, oh, like another, there's so, you just like, are like, oh my God, I can't wait for that person to die.
Yeah.
And they die in such cool ways.
This is my, I don't want to
give it away.
My comparison to Echo is the fact that they're developing characters on the spot. You understand them. You understand how you have to feel about them. And then when they die, you feel great. The movie is not, it's not very grounded. There's not a lot of stuff believable. The only thing believable about this movie is the politician who has integrity.
Yes. Yeah, there's two unbelievable things. One, and it actually really bothered me was the FBI, the character. They make the FBI to be like the good guys who investigate crimes and solve crimes.
Yeah, because
I was just
kill
like,
the FBI, but he'll kill everybody else.
I don't think that I don't know. Does anyone really believe the FBI is doing good in this country now? That they lead you to believe that in this film, which is weird. But yeah, in any case, that was unbelievable. And then a politician with integrity, probably a little unbelievable. But what's great is you have characters they introduce, and within 20 seconds of them being on screen, you know who they are, what they're doing. It really is like great character, like development for an action movie, right? Because characters are not, they're, the side characters. I'm talking about mostly on the villain side, right? Because Jason Statham is effectively a one-man army. And you find out that he's part of a secret program with the government where they activate
that the government doesn't even know about.
That the government doesn't even know about. They activate a beekeeper, and the beekeeper just takes care of things. Yeah. So much fun. David Ayer, if you ever had any doubts about David Ayer as a director, go see this. Now I really want to see the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad even more now, having seen this, because if David Ayer got to do whatever the heck he wants, we would get something special. This movie is, and not only that, this movie's fun. It's fun. Doesn't take itself too seriously. It's like an hour, 40 minutes ish.
Yeah. It's unplug your brain fun.
Unplug your brain fun. I plan to see it again. Yep. It was just a blast. And Jason, a lot of it is also Jason Statham is going to Jason Statham. But he is Jason Statham on steroids in terms of the types of characters he's played in other movies like The Expendables or The Meg 2, which we saw last year. But the thing that makes this movie work are the villains. They're so evil. Like what they do to this like old woman who runs a charity. She's got like $2 million of money she's raised in this charity, and it's to go to kids, and she's just doing her finances. And it's all, I mean, this is in the trailer. All of her money is just sucked away. And then you mess with the wrong person. I mean, it's just like, it's just over the top. The action, the fate that the bad guys meet, it's satisfying. You see them go out in the best, bloodiest, and most clever ways. I had a blast with this film.
Now I will say there's a bit of virtue signaling going on here.
What?
Well, first of all, the lead FBI agent, and specifically Emmy Raver Lampman, who's black. No. Hear me out. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. So she is the lead agent in this investigation. She's not high up on the pole in terms of hierarchy, but she's the POC presence in the FBI.
Right.
And then when you look at all the FBI agents they bring in, what are they? Every single one of them. They're all white men.
Yeah.
So apparently the FBI has only one black woman, and it happens to be this person because you would expect to see this army of white male FBI agents to be at least diverse in that case, and they're not. They're just sending white men to their graves.
Yeah. Well, look, I can't recommend this movie enough. Best film I've seen this year. The year we're only like
January 12th.
We're not even 2 weeks into January, but I'll just say this. I don't expect to see a better film in the month of January. I will see this again. Had a blast with it. That's the only virtual signal in the movie is really the FBI agent. It's just like, all right, we checked a box, fine. But it didn't bother me. It didn't sideline the movie. It didn't take me out of it, right? At all.
No.
It didn't take me out of it. Whereas sometimes, a virtue signal like that will completely take you out of the film. This didn't do that. It's just like, all right, fine. And she is a narrative thread. She's more like the narrative thread of like, who is this guy? Because we see from kind of outside. It's not really Jason Statham's point of view. He's this threat that like when he shows up, get ready.
I'll be honest. The part that bothered me most about her was she goes to work in t-shirts and torn jeans.
Yeah, lowering standards yet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may be bending towards the wrong side of the bell curve in the world today.
Mhm.
I'll just say that. All right. Strong recommendation
Yeah.
for The Beekeeper from me. I plan to see it again. And oh God, I'm just happy that we got at least one decent movie in January
Yeah, I think
because
Paulie's ticked off at me. It's a
oh,
I'm reading his comments, but yeah, there was one Asian FBI agent as well. But I would say I enjoyed The Beekeeper. I don't think it's as great as you feel it was, but it was definitely fun. And
well, here's what I'll say. Like, as you pointed out with Echo, and I haven't seen Echo, I've seen clips from Echo, and they're embarrassing. Like, they are embarrassing. The people who worked on Echo should go see The Beekeeper. That's how you do action. That's how you do it. But I don't even know, like, is Echo a hero? Like, it just she's a murderer.
She's supposed to be the anti-hero, like Punisher or like Daredevil himself. But and here's the other thing, just to harp on Jason Statham here, but with Echo, you've never seen this actress before, and you're supposed to buy into her badassery. In this movie, Jason Statham has built up such a CV in terms of being the action hero, the tough guy. He plays bad, he plays good, so that when he shows up instantly in The Beekeeper, you understand the character just by looking at him, by knowing, hey, that's Jason Statham, and there's already a character backstory to that character that you already feel because you know this actor for a very long time.
Yeah. Anyways, strong recommendation from me, a recommendation from Alan, though not as strong.